All right, so we're going to talk about literal equations here. And remember, I said that basically the definition for literal equations is just equations with multiple variables. Y'all, again, I know I sound horrible. The sinus mess going around, so just bear with me. All right, so we're going to solve the left side of this just like we would normally solve it. Okay, so I'm trying to get x by itself, so I'm going to move my 5 first. And then I'm going to divide by my 2. And x is going to equal 9. So we're going to apply those same steps to the right side. The only difference is instead of having all numbers in here, I have a bunch of letters, okay? So I moved the 5 over here, which is going to be the same filler over here as b. So I'm going to add b to both sides, just like I did the 5. Now, you can't add c's and b's, so we leave that c plus b. And now, just like I did over here to get rid of the 2, I divided by 2, so it would cancel. I'm going to divide by a, and it cancels. And now my x is still by itself like it was on the left over on the right. And that gives me c plus b divided by a. So the only bad thing about this is that your answers sometimes look just as confusing as the problem, if not more confusing, okay? I'm going to skip this quick right stuff in here. And basically, y'all, we're going to jump down here. Now, the first part of these are all one step. Okay, it shouldn't take us long to get through them. And then the back side of this is 2 or more steps for that. Let me grab a couple more pens here. Hang on one second. Okay. All right, so we're solving for W. It tells you what to solve for on each one of these. Okay, so to get W all by itself, I simply need to divide by L because they are multiplying, and W is going to equal A divided by L. All right, number 2 over here. Okay, number 2 over here, we are solving for H. So I'm going to divide by B. So H is going to equal A divided by B. And now remember, you can leave the letter on the right-hand side. I just like to have my letter on the left. All right, number 3, we're going to solve for T. So I'm going to divide by R. Okay, and number 4, we want to solve for T. So I'm going to divide by P and R both at the same time. That just cancels them both out. So T equals I over PR. Okay. Solve for H. So I'm going to divide by L and W all at one time. So H equals V divided by LW. All right, now this next one it's more than one step. We're going to divide by pi first, which gives me R squared equals A over pi. And then you do have to get rid of the square. We talked about this in class. This is not one that you will do a whole bunch of for me. And there does technically need a plus minus in front, but just kind of put that one in your back pocket. We're not going to use that one for much. All right. And here now we're solving for C. So this time they are subtracting S, so we're going to add S. So C is going to equal M plus S. They weren't multiplying that time. All right, and then we're going to solve for M here by multiplying by V. And you can put the V first and then the D. It doesn't matter. It is multiplication. They are interchangeable. Okay, so those were the one step we did those the other day. I'm doing the entire page today. So that's going to skip to the 2 step that we did in class today. Okay, all right, so Going to go through these kind of quickly. Think backwards. We're going to remove the fractions first by multiplying by the reciprocal or the denominator. And then we usually divide by whatever's next to your variable. Usually that's what's last, okay? So again, we're going to multiply by 2 here, which cancels my 2 there. So I have 2a equals bh. A couple of you asked me what happened to my 1. You can leave the 1 there, but it's understood, so we don't have to have it. Okay, and then to get h all by itself, I'm going to divide by b, and h is going to equal 2a over b. All right, same thing here. Going to multiply by that 3 first. So I have 3v equals bh. And to solve for b, I'm going to divide by h. So b is going to equal 3v over h. Okay, solve for m. So we're going to multiply by 2 first. So 2k equals mv squared. And this time, since you were solving for m, we're going to divide by v squared. So that squared is irrelevant to us now. Unlike on the front side where we had to take the square root to get rid of it, we don't have to do that on the back. All right, solving for b. Move the d first. So remember I told you could put a and then d, or d and then a. It doesn't matter. Those cancel. And then to get b by itself, I need to move my c. So I'm going to subtract c. We can't put all those together, so it stays ad minus c. (13 through 16), 17 and 18 are just kind of special ones. They take the most work, but 13 through 16 you're likely to see on your ESC, okay? So make sure we're paying attention. 13, I'm going to get w by itself. So the first thing I need to move is this 2L. And then we're going to divide by 2, and w is going to equal p minus 2L all over 2. They may split that apart. Not sure. But I like to write it like that. Okay. We're solving for y, so that's the by, so we need to move the ax first. So by equals c minus ax, and then solving for y. So we're going to divide by b, and y is going to equal c minus ax all over b. All right, 15, solving for x, which is here, so we need to move b first. Y minus b equals mx, and then we're going to divide by m, and x is going to equal y minus b over m. All right, solving for t, which is attached here, so we need to move this p first. Then everything here is multiplied, so we're going to divide, and we're going to divide it all at the same time. So t is going to equal a minus p over pr. All right, last two I'm going to kind of just do relatively quickly because, like I said, you won't see much like this. We're going to multiply the whole reciprocal. That got rid of that whole fraction at one time. And then I'm going to move the 32. So it's going to be that f equals 9 over 5c plus 32. And you could do the same thing here. You're going to multiply by 2 over 1, which gives me 2a. Oh, now this one's a little different because we still got that h out front. We're trying to get b1 by itself. So we need to move that h next. A lot of y'all told me to distribute, but then you have two h's. So you don't want to do that. My headset's about to die, y'all, so I'm going to have to hurry. All right, and then to get b1 by itself, I'm going to subtract b2. So our final answer here should be that b1 equals 2a over h minus b2. Okay? All right, use these to do your homework for tonight, and I'll see you all tomorrow.